very optimistic a deal could be had on this whole debt ceiling mess, or one at least offered by Republicans, maybe as soon as this weekend, Sunday. But he was saying in a wider sense that he thinks a deal in general could be accepted by both sides by then. Is that doable? Jared Moskowitz joins us right now, the Florida congressman, kind enough to weigh in on all of this. Congressman, great seeing you.
Good to be with you, Neil.
I don't know the details or the points to which the speaker was referring, Congressman, but he seems to think that Republicans and Democrats are getting closer together on the key ideas. Is that true?
Well, I mean, listen, it's good to see all the sides sitting down and talking. I mean, I've been saying for weeks now that the Speaker of the House and the President should always be talking. I think that's what the American people want to see. And so, look, we're now negotiating a debt ceiling deal. This is where we always knew things were going to go in a divided government. And so, it's the team that the President has appointed. I have the utmost faith in them, and I have the utmost faith in Representative Graves, who's been appointed by the Speaker to figure out how to hammer out a deal. And so I think for the first time now, it looks like we might be moving towards a bipartisan deal.
Now, in the meantime, Congress, I know Democrats are separately working on a plan that they hope will pass muster in the House, but they would need at least 5 Republican votes. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere, but you would know more than I. What's the latest on that?
Yeah, well, look, I'm going to sign the discharge petition. I do think, in a situation like this, all options should be on the table, and that is an option, for the folks that are in the minority.
That's a simple, a clean debt ceiling hike, right?
Yeah, that would be a clean debt ceiling hike, which we've done many times in American history. Did that under the Trump administration, previous Democratic and Republican administrations, a clean debt ceiling, and they could do a budget deal separately. And so I'm going to vote for that. And, listen, if a couple of our Republican colleagues join us, then we'll have a vote on a clean debt ceiling bill.
Are you open to sort of clawing back some of this COVID funding, to raise some money here or to address some of the needs of the government? I know Republicans have pushed that. Some of your Democratic colleagues are intrigued by that. Are you?
Yeah, no, I'm open. Look, as the former director of emergency management for the state of Florida, someone who voted to end the national emergency that President Biden signed, I think it's time to look at unspent COVID funding. So I think that absolutely should be on the table. I think permitting reform is a good issue to be on the table. I think there's folks on both sides that want to see that. And as far as, cuts in spending requirements and work requirements, I mean, I don't have necessarily any red lines. I just need to see, what the ideas are.
All right, because I think, Joaquin Jeffries, your leader in the House, the Democratic leader in the House, has said at least a non-starter for him would be this idea of those who receive federal benefits. Some of them should work for those benefits. The president seemed to intimate that he is open to that because as a senator he was open to that. I wasn't quite clear on his position now, but what do you think?
Well, look, I think the devil is in the details. I mean, as you heard from the president this morning, he is not interested in work requirements when it comes to people's health. But we'll have to see, what the ideas are. Work requirements, as he said, is something he voted for previously in the Senate and other programs. And so, look, I don't want to get ahead of the negotiators. But, it's tough to have red lines when you're dealing with the debt ceiling, which obviously, if we default, would be such a catastrophic issue. And so, listen, of all the things being discussed, I'm optimistic, I think, for the first time that we might get to a deal. I heard the speaker saying maybe as early as Sunday. That obviously would be good news for the American people.
Yeah, we'll see. Congressman, great seeing you again. Thank you for taking the time.
Thanks, Neil.
All right.